I worked at Charles Schwab for a long time. I was there for about 20 years. Started off on the option trading desk in San Francisco. They moved me to Chicago for a little while, and then to New York, and then back. But after about 15 or 16 years, I always had an interest in having my own business. My dad a couple times had expressed a desire. He never had his own business, but he always had a desire for it. And I remember when I was a kid one time, he said, I always wanted to have a restaurant where the kitchen was upstairs and there would be a fire pole where the waiters would come down the fire pole with the food up on their shoulder.
We took a trip to South Africa in '03, and there we decided to have a winery, and I became his partner because we wanted to make a old world style California wine. Well, we were ripped on Syrah one night in Stellenbosch, South Africa, and he says we were drinking, no, we were ripped. And I go, partner, let's start a winery. And it, just like that, very Syrah-induced decision.
I came down here with my wife in 1999, just thinking about a vacation home.
You know, this was 700 acres of ground squirrels and weeds in 1999.
I asked a friend of mine, what do you know about Paso Robles? And he said, well, there's a nice lake there. We used to go water skiing there when we were kids. And this person didn't even mention, the vineyards or the winery or anything.
So I met Steve at the gate, interviewed to build the barn, which is now our winery. And I came in on time and under budget, which is unheard of. I always say that's really bitching. So his vision, retiring from Schwab, was to start a vineyard and be a grower. Well, I convinced him that I would be a good partner, and that started it.
Some people refer to wine as, well, it's it's an art, but then there's a lot of science behind it too. And so I will kind of use the science as a little bit of guide, but ultimately, yeah, it does come down to taste.
The vine will tell you everything you need to know. You have to be in the field, you have to be looking at the vine, you have to know what that vine needs and find a way to give that vine what they need.
We will do multiple picks off of a block, ferment it, and each one of those is going to taste differently. And then each barrel is going to taste slightly different. And so it's by going through and choosing each barrel or each lot of wine, I can hopefully create more of a natural balance when it comes to the final blend.
What your goal in the vineyard is to have continuity. So if you can get more evening ripening, you're going to get a better result. We're also using shade cloth, which allows us to shade the afternoon side so that we're getting the morning sun to ripen, but we're not getting the burning on the hot afternoon sun. That is a technique that really is not used unless you're one of the higher class wineries, which CASS is.
So we're not allowed to have a hotel here. The nearest hotel is about 6 miles away, but we are allowed to have a B&B.
My partner came to me and goes, we're going to build an event center, which is where we're sitting, and then I want to do a B&B, and let's make them out of containers.
We wanted the place where people would stay to have some punch to it, something memorable.
But then we hired a young man in Los Angeles that's an expert at doing these.
And you remember Doc Brown? Doc Brown with the crazy white hair and the totally unfocused but genius yet attitude. That's who we got.
So we put them up in the air, which even made it more difficult because of all the seismic issues and all the engineering. But if you would have set them on the ground, it would have been boring. I'm glad they're done, but there's my heart and soul over there.
I get asked that question quite a bit. What's my vision? And I have to say it's evolved. There's always just incremental growth. We thought if we could grow 20% a year, in our lifetime, we'll have a pretty good sized business. Then we started doing weddings and private events. That's a way to get a group of people out to come out to the tasting room. If they never taste your wine, they're never going to like the wine, and they're never going to join the wine club. You got to get people to come out.
We got horseback riding through Central Coast trail rides, and you come up out of the vineyard up on our properties are the hills, and it's beautiful.
We started doing the sunset ride about a year and a half ago, and it is pretty much our most popular ride now. We're virtually full every single night that we're able to ride, weather permitting.
I want this to be the best experience as an inn in California. We're getting more sustainable and more where we can take care of ourselves on our own land. So we're setting up to have some people really enjoy the ranch. And the goal is to come and enjoy the ranch. And that's what it's all about.